Hello, my name is Krisha, I'm 19, and today I'm going to show you how I made these really awesome Hogwarts Graduation Cords that I made for two really good friends of mine. So first, we got to discuss length. So I wanted the cords to be to my waist. This is one I already braided, and as you can see, it went down to my waist, and I really like that length because that's what my graduation cords in high school were. So, like I'm about to show you, because we're going to braid it, we need our initial length to be very long. So you can see here that the length of this yarn is very, very long. So what I did is I used 2 lengths of each color in the 4-way braid. So I got these 3 things of yarn that had specks of metallic in them. The blue, green, and red were by this company, and the yellow one, they didn't have yellow with the metallic, so I just got this really nice gold color for the Hufflepuff color, and all of the links to these yarns will be down below. So now it is time to prepare for the braiding. Now every single color had 2 pieces of yarn, so I taped each piece of yarn down individually so that it had a lot more strength and could withstand me pulling on it for 40 minutes making the braid. So here's my hack for you if you find your pieces of yarn getting caught a lot, like mine right there. You take your hand and your length of yarn and wrap it around your hand just till the end and make sure that it's not overlaying and it's one coil. Then take a bobby pin or even a safety pin and pin it all together. This way it's one giant roll and you can easily uncoil it when you need it. And this next part is the part that took me about an hour for the first braid and 45 minutes for the second braid. It's literally braiding the entire strand. So while I'm doing this, let me talk to you about Quidditch. I have been a part of the Rowan University Quidditch team since I started at Rowan, so almost 2 years now. This past year was the social media chair, and this coming year I was just voted to be vice president, which is very exciting. The first question I always get when people ask me about Quidditch is, that's actually real? And yes, it is. I go to practice twice a week. We go to tournaments where we beat other colleges and face against them. And it's so much fun because everyone is a nerd. I think you have to be a nerd in order to be on a Quidditch team. And it's so much fun. I've made a lot of amazing friends who I love very much, including the 2 people I'm making these cords for. I am making these 2 cords for 2 very good friends of mine. Their names are Aaron and Mason. And Mason has been the club president since it was founded. He actually founded the club. And Aaron, she also was there at the start, and they're both graduating, which is kind of sad because I'm really going to miss them. But I knew that graduation is important to both of them, and I thought that this was a really cool way of including Quidditch and us into their ceremony, because Quidditch has been a huge part of their college career. So tying it off also works, but I felt better and I felt it would be more secure if I sewed the ends. And I just did this with a regular needle and regular thread, passing it through the yarn like 50 times. And this was to make sure that the braids were secure and that they were never going to become loose. And they really worked. Dang it. I just missed a vital step in my skincare routine. So now that we have the main part of the graduation cord made, it's time to make the two really fancy tassels at the end. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a book and tape one about like half of a foot, 6 inches piece of yarn to the book. Now this piece of yarn is really important, and you can really use any tape. I just only had that heavy duty plastic tape on hand. And then you're going to cut a really long length of yarn, pretty much the same length you cut for the cord itself, and wrap the whole thing around the book, making sure that you cut off the ends at the same length. And there are a lot of yarn cord tassel tutorials on YouTube. This one is just really quick, and you're going to wrap all of the yarn around that book. And now here comes the part where it all becomes magical. You are going to take off the tape from the book, and it's really important that that piece of string stays under all of the yarn. So once it's off, you are going to tie a knot, just one, not a double knot, as really tight as you can. That's to make sure that all the strings stay still, and then take the whole clump off of the book. Once it is off the book, you are going to tie that knot as tight as humanly possible. You're going to do a double knot and then cut it off and fluff it, and there you go. That is your tassel. You can definitely trim the edges. I made them a lot shorter. I just had a long book because I would rather trim it short than have to deal with a really tiny tassel. You will need 2 of these for 1 cord. I made 4 of them because I made 2 cords. So like you see here, I added these really cool keychains with the tassels, and I added lions because both Mason and Aaron are Gryffindors. Now to attach the tassel, you take one of the strings you tied the tassel with, and using a bobby pin, or in this case I used like a bread tie to make like a loop, you push it through one of the strands of the braid, and then tie the 2 strings together. And of course you do a double knot and tie it really tight. And this way it will always stay on. And then with the end of the cord, you kind of tuck it into the tassel so that no one can see it. So the final step is adding these keychains. Now that's actually optional. The thing though with the Hogwarts Crest keychains is that they had a really ugly latch on the top that I actually took off with pliers. So it just had the little loops. So to attach it, I kind of did the same thing as how the tassels were. I took a piece of yarn, I put it through one of the loops, and then I put one of the ends of the yarn through the braid and tied it off, and that way it would stay. And that is it. That is how you DIY Hogwarts graduation cords, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys like me, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure?
Is someone's phone vibrating?
No. Nope. Measure a year in daylights, in sunsets, in minutes, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. In 525,600 minutes, how do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measure in love. See Seasons of love, seasons of love. 525,600 minutes, 525,000 journeys to plan, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man? In truth that she learned, or the times that he cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now, excuse me, to sing out so the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember the year in the life of friends. How about love?